What's good, you guys? You know who it is, man. It's your boy, Mr. Relentless Lex, and I'm back like I never left this mother. Yes, Sirski. Hello, somebody. All right. So, you guys, man, we got Jay-Z just got exposed for lying about being innocent. Now, the little 13-year-old girl, which she's not 13 anymore, but she said that Jay-Z and Diddy SA'd her. But then she turned around and said that Jay-Z was there, but he had no parts in it. Then she turned around and said that she made it all up. Now it's coming back to say that she was pressed by some of Jay-Z's people. That's why she said she was lying. And allegedly, they say that some of Jay-Z's people was pulling up on her parents at the gas stations and grocery stores and Walmart, advising them to tell their daughter, like, look, say she was lying. So now she said she was pressed and that's why she lied. This is crazy. This is crazy. I thought it was over. The party just beginning. Spicy.
A couple days back, I did a podcast episode with D where we spoke about the Jay-Z case and the update that happened. There's another update now that completely changes everything once again, and like I said last time, makes Jay-Z look a whole lot guiltier. In the last podcast episode, I reported that Jay-Z had released information claiming that the Jane Doe had denied all the allegations and denied that Jay-Z had any involvement in doing anything to her. And I also pointed out that this was all because of a private investigator who went to question her at her home on behalf of Jay-Z or his lawyers, even though Jay-Z is denying that it was from him. She went and interviewed the Jane Doe at her home, and basically she claims that in that interview, the Jane Doe admitted that she was lying about Jay-Z. When this came out, this was plastered all over all the media sites. Every media site reported Jay-Z is innocent. The Jane Doe denied the allegations and it was dropped. Now we have the full details of what happened and how the case was dropped, and it's completely shady. It's looking even worse for Jay-Z now, in my opinion. And I heard the audio, we're gonna get into that in a little bit, where she supposedly denies that Jay-Z had anything to do with it. And you're gonna see just exactly how this private investigator manipulated the Jane Doe. This is some very shady tactics going on. If Jay-Z thinks this is making him look innocent, this is not making him look innocent at all. This is making him look guiltier. So like I said, in the last week's episode, I reported that Jay-Z had taken the win essentially because the Jane Doe had dropped the case. The Jane Doe was visited by a female private investigator at her home where she was asked if Jay-Z was involved. In the audio, the female seems to deny the allegation, claiming that Jay-Z never touched her, Jay-Z never did anything to her, and that essentially he was innocent. The private investigator also seems to ask her if Tony Busby, the lawyer that's representing her, pressured her into making these accusations. And this is when she responds that yes, that Tony Busby pressured her into making these allegations.
She admitted that.
Apparently, the Jane Doe has spoken out and Tony Busby has spoken out. And they're saying that they manipulated her words, put out what makes it seem like she's saying that she's not guilty. And the big problem with this is the courts used this recording from the private investigator to drop the case. So it wasn't even the Jane Doe that dropped the case. The private investigator went over to Jane Doe, got her to confess that it's not true, and then brought it over to Jay-Z and his team, who used it in the courtroom to get the case dismissed. This was completely shady tactics. And I'm gonna play the audio so you can see just how shady it is. It's just completely off. It lets you know none of this is being done in good heart. It's not Jay-Z trying to prove he's innocent. It's Jay-Z using shady tactics to make himself look innocent. The recording itself was very leading. It's not her confessing that she did nothing wrong. It's just her responding. She could have responded yes to any other question and they could have just placed it in that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
In reality, all of it looks suspicious. And I don't know why the courts would take the word of Jay-Z's private investigator. Obviously, she's going to try to discredit the Jane Doe in any which way she can. Try to make the Jane Doe look bad.
Yeah, exactly, 100%. That's
Facts.
the part that doesn't make any sense to me. The courts dropped the case because of what Jay-Z's private investigator basically got the Jane Doe to admit. Now, you answer this. If you were the Jane Doe and you have Jay-Z sending people to your home, wouldn't that already make you scared?
Of course it would.
Wouldn't that be enough already to be like, you know, this is bad. He knows where I live. If he's sending private investigators to my home, he obviously knows where I live. And that brings a whole nother set of problems. That
Another whole set of problems. You're right.
Courts to set a restraining order. How is this woman at peace in her own home if she knows the person that she's calling out, a person like Jay-Z, who's a multi-million, not even a millionaire, a billionaire, his wife a billionaire, a man with infinite amount of power, knows where she lives and she's talking out about him negatively. That alone is enough to make anyone say anything to leave them alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying. It's all crazy.
It's extremely suspicious in reality. From what I see, she was intimidated, and she admitted herself. She admitted that she felt intimidated, and anyone would be intimidated. If you were at your home where you think you're safe and this private investigator shows up and is trying to force you to say Jay-Z is innocent, you're most likely going to say it, especially a woman like this, you know? She's autistic.
She's autistic as well. I never known that. But woman or no woman, bro, if it was me and it was a woman with Jay-Z's power and she sent him private, I would be scared too as well, bro. I probably would change my story up, bro. I'm thinking about my family members. I got to go places like Walmart, grocery store, different little places. I got to live my life. And for somebody of that power to have their residence and location, they damn near know where you at most of the times. They hired a private investigator. I'm pretty sure she was terrified.
She's obviously dealing with the stress of everything that comes with this, and now you have people showing up at your house. That alone will make anybody switch their story. Nobody wants to pass away over a situation like this.
It is suspicious because how do they know who a Jane Doe is?
Now, I'm going to play the recording so that you can see exactly what she said. You're going to see how the Jane Doe is basically led into answering the question. She is not asked to give her opinion on what happened that day. The private investigator just basically states what needs to be said, and she says yes. And that's what they're using to basically justify that Jay-Z did nothing.
He was just there, but he didn't have anything to do with any sexual acts towards you. It was strictly, yeah.
In the clip alone, there was not that much room for her to answer. She could have said no, but we don't know if she said no. We don't know if this recording was manipulated. We don't know what they did. Honestly, there's a possibility that this isn't even the Jane Doe. What do we know? We don't even know who the Jane Doe is. It's suspicious that they were able to find out who the Jane Doe is when she's supposed to be anonymous.
Yeah, I agree, because sending a private investigator itself is just suspicious. If you didn't do it, I would just say I didn't do it. Not hire a private investigator to prove that I didn't do it or go manipulate her words.
Facts.
Exactly. How do they know this Jane Doe, where she lived, all of this stuff? It doesn't make sense.
And you know what? For all we know, the private investigator could have came there with a bodyguard. She could have brought a bodyguard or somebody else with him that just didn't say anything on the recording. So Jane Doe probably looking like, oh my God, first of all, who are you people? Second of all, who is this big security guard dude that look like he's ready to tackle or slam me or something? So it's a lot. It's a lot.
None of this is adding up. It's clear to me, 100% clear to me, that Jay-Z intimidated her into saying that. And this is what she's basically saying in this recording with Tony Busby. Tony Busby released his own recording where he asks her the questions again. And she again stands strong by her statements, stating that she never said Jay-Z is innocent, that Jay-Z did nothing to her, and that she's essentially being intimidated.
Say that they have you on tape denying that Jay-Z assaulted you. Is that true?
No. I don't. I've never said that.
As you heard for yourself, there you go. She didn't drop the case. But yet, Jay-Z jumped the gun, which makes him look 1,000 times more guilty, and went and spread it all through the media. This is what I'm trying to explain to you. Jay-Z is not playing the same game as Diddy. Diddy didn't have the support from the media. Everyone was calling Diddy out. They were happy to run these stories. When it comes to Jay-Z, property of the NFL, all the media blogs, companies, all of them are over here celebrating that Jay-Z is innocent. Do you understand what's going on? They're trying to convince the public that Jay-Z is innocent. Not because he's innocent, but because Jay-Z works for the NFL. Jay-Z is property of the elite. They have use for him still. They don't want his reputation to be destroyed. So what do? They do what they always do. They use the media as a conglomerate that they are, the voice of the elite, to push out whatever narrative they want to push. And the narrative that they're pushing is that Jay-Z is innocent. But how is Jay-Z innocent if the Jane Doe is still saying that Jay-Z R-worded her? If the Jane Doe is saying that she was intimidated, a person that's innocent doesn't need to send private investigators to intimidate anyone. Hiring the private investigator is something that's common for these rich people. It's understandable, but it becomes shady when the private investigator is manipulating the woman's words. The private investigator's information is then being used for the court to drop the case. The media blogs were reporting that the Jane Doe dropped the case herself. This is not what happened. The Jane Doe's case was dismissed because they presented this audio. You know what this means? It means that the courts are helping Jay-Z, because the courts know that this is not enough to drop a case like this. 100%, they're not crazy. This is not evidence to drop a case. Anyone, especially in 2025, anyone can use AI to make any type of audio. That should have not been enough evidence to let anyone off the hook. That's the part that gets me. That just lets you know that Jay-Z has a lot of support from the elite, from the people that run this country.
You know what's crazy? Jay-Z admits to R-wording women in the song Monster featuring Kanye West. Who raps about something like that and glorifies it?
Exactly. These rappers confess all the time through their lyrics. In the song Monster, you're right. He says, R-word and murder and all this nonsense. This is the words that are coming that he chose to write. He did say it. He believes this.
I remember that song. He did say it. In reality,
none of the things that Jay-Z has been doing is making him look innocent. If we pay attention from his actions from the beginning, like I said in the last episode, it comes out extremely defensive and like he's a bully. Like he's been trying to intimidate not only the Jane Doe, but Tony Busby as well. He's been threatening Tony Busby since the beginning. Think about this. If Jay-Z was really innocent, I'm not saying that he has no right to defend himself or to be angry about the allegations, but won't you think that he would not, number one, be playing shady, and number two, just let the evidence speak for itself? This whole time, he's been threatening Tony Busby. When do you see someone who is being sued threaten the lawyer when it's not even the lawyer? The lawyer didn't make the allegation, the Jane Doe did. But he knows that if he threatens the Jane Doe, it's terrible looking for him, so he goes and threatens the lawyer. That's a technique, like I said, to make sure that no lawyer tries him. But then let's calculate that. He's been aggressive, intimidating since the beginning, not open about it and coming clean to, prove, hey, I really didn't do this. That's a terrible allegation made against me. Honestly, I have nothing to do with this. I'll prove it in court. I'll prove it with evidence. That's not what Jay-Z has been saying. Jay-Z has literally been saying, I'm gonna teach you a lesson for even trying to mention my name. How does that sound like someone that's innocent?
Guilty.
It doesn't. It does not come out as someone that's innocent. On top of it, the fact that he tried to erase his whole relationship with Diddy, again, it makes him look guilty. How are you denying that you're friends with Diddy when you have pictures with him, say that you love him? All of these things. It doesn't add up. And I'm not gonna bring up his past allegations because I've already said this many times, but then he also has many past allegations that, while it might not be with a 13-year-old, they're always young females that are underage. This works against him. And then now this is the ultimate indication that suggests that, number one, he's hiding something. Number two, he might be guilty because he's celebrating, saying that the Jane Doe dropped the case when he knows well that the Jane Doe never dropped the case. The Jane Doe's case was dismissed because of that recording that she's saying they manipulated. And honestly, I believe her. Jay-Z has been playing dirty the entire time. Jay-Z tried to sue the lawyer at the beginning of the case to basically force him not to sue him. Jay-Z claimed that Tony Busby was trying to extort him. There is no extortion here. He claimed that he tried to extort him because he sent them a demand letter. But if you ask any lawyer, that's not extortion. That's common practice when you're suing someone. You send them a demand letter. This way, you guys avoid going to court, avoid going to a trial, and just settle out of court. This happens in every single lawsuit. So why is every other lawsuit not extortion? People are making the rule special because it's Jay-Z and they love him. And like I said, I'm not going to say this woman's telling the truth or not because realistically, we don't know. But what I will say is the way that Jay-Z is behaving, he is making himself look guilty. He is making it appear like he actually did it. And that alone should be a reason to investigate into him. Now, is anything going to happen to Jay-Z? I highly doubt it. They can prove it 100% true, and they're going to find a way to throw it all out. Jay-Z is
they're going to find a way to get it thrown out.
Jay-Z is a Masonic puppet. Jay-Z is not fighting for his reputation in the industry. Jay-Z is fighting for his reputation
in
with
NFL.
The public. He doesn't want to be known as a PDF file who R-worded a child. That's what he's afraid of. He's afraid of his legacy being tarnished, his legacy being destroyed. But the elite do this all the time. This is what they go to third world countries for.
Even TMZ is reporting that this is all a lie. This is what they just reported 2 days ago. Jay-Z's accuser says private investigator twisted her words from house visit. Jay-Z's Jane Doe accuser says, don't believe that recording. In the article, the Jane Doe says that the private investigators straight up lied.
I'm even surprised that TMZ is stating this because we know that all of these media sites are in Jay-Z's pocket. Every single media site reported that Jay-Z is innocent. But a few days ago, when I made this video, there was only one media site that was willing to say that the accuser, that she had denied the allegations. that one media site reported that the Jane Doe was admitting that Jay-Z was lying. And this should be enough to wake people up. This should be enough for people to stop trying to defend Jay-Z. I don't even understand how people think Jay-Z is innocent. He hung around R. Kelly. He hung around Diddy often. He's been to all the Diddy parties. Diddy has been to all of his parties. You really
and
think...
you know what they say? Birds of a feather do what? Flock together, bro. Jay-Z, he just playing chess, bro. But I think they on his heels this time. They on his ass this time, bro. Jay, you better be careful, my boy.
Jay-Z hasn't been in a freak-off? You really think that Jay-Z and Beyonce haven't been a part of a Diddy freak-off? If you think that, you're just gonna believe anything. You're literally defend him no matter what. All of the people around Diddy were in the freak-offs, including Jay-Z, in my opinion, 100%. I 100% believe Jay-Z was in a freak-off or two. If you believe otherwise, you're just defending him. At the end of the day, it's pretty clear that all these celebrities have done things in the limelight, in the celebrity life, that they wouldn't want the public to know. The difference is that the public is starting to know. I don't want to hear people saying that Jay-Z's innocent no more, because that's what I kept seeing in the last video. Oh, the Jane Doe dropped the case, she's lying. Well, like I said, some of the things she might be saying might be inconsistencies. It does not mean that she's lying. People have the right to forget things or misremember things, and especially with someone as autistic like she is. At the end of the day, in my opinion, this changes everything. This alone should lead to the case reopening, and there should definitely be some justice for this girl. Whether that be money or Jay-Z going to prison, I don't know. I don't think Jay-Z would ever go to prison. But I know for a fact that this proves to us Jay-Z is lying about him being innocent, and he's definitely covering something up. And honestly, the media and all the people that are supporting him even after hearing this are helping covering that up.
They are.
I'm gonna end this one here. I'm gonna keep looking into this case, and I'm gonna bring you guys up-to-date updates. I want to make sure that you guys get all the information about this case because, like I said, the media is trying to cover it up. The media doesn't want you to know the truth. The media wants you to believe Jay-Z is innocent. You think that NBC, the person that did the interview with the Jane Doe, doesn't work for the same people that own the NFL? Those companies are all connected. They all have the same investors. Those NBC, ABC, all those news companies are directly tied to the NFL, are directly tied to all forms of Hollywood. So they're going to defend their property, which is Jay-Z, because he's the one that they're using right now as a mouthpiece for the urban community. But like I said, I'm gonna end this one here. I want to
Wow, bro. This is getting spicy. Man. J. Man, this is crazy, bro. Why would you send a private investigator to talk to the victim, bro? Why, bro? Bro, now she's saying that she didn't say that Jay-Z was innocent. And like I said in the video, you can use AI for anything now. But the judge threw it out. And Jay-Z do have power. And he is part of the elite. And then Jay-Z threatened the attorney for the Jane Doe lady. And she's artistic. So society is going to be leaning on her side already because of her illness. Because artisticism, you're born like that, bro. It is on this come. So when she was 13 or whatever age she was already affected by the illness as well. Yeah, it don't look good for Jay-Z right now. It really don't look good for Jay-Z. Sorry to say. He's one of my top rappers, I must admit. But learning all these allegations, bro, that's tough. I'm gonna have to throw him out of my favorite top rapper group. I'm gonna have to, bro. I didn't know he was this way growing up listening to him. But until he made that song called Monster, I've never paid that song as much as attention than I pay it now, bro. He did say something about RAPE people in the song Monster, bro. You guys go back and listen to it. He did say he does it. That's crazy. And if this thing go to court, they might use that against him. That's crazy.